Hi there! So as I redo my videos and put them back up for general consumption and completely copyright strike free, like so that even the suggestion of a copyright strike cannot even be brought about, not that any of them have been successful thus far, but I am redoing some of the videos that had things that just would be questionable, and it's just not worth the hassle, and I don't want to lose my channel for a couple weeks again. So what I'm doing is I'm redoing some of these videos and making them just a little bit more fun in a lot of ways. To you, they would likely seem like all new videos in that I've rearranged things and changed stuff. So yeah, this is the first, which is a redo of the Markles greatest hits. So let's get started.
So that if somebody did speak to us, that we would have no credibility.
Now with this, there will be clips that I comment on and clips that I just don't bother to comment on. Primarily because they speak for themselves. Little brief clips that really are more like, GIFs than they are clips. But this one in particular, this is one of the first of the one tear left eye clips. And there are 4 total. Because what I am always hoping to show is that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And this habit of feigning tears and being able to turn the waterworks on and off, it's not unique to Megsy. It's something that Samantha does just as much. So this is One Tear Left Eye Part 1.
So house can still be home base.
Now make yourself cry. Oh, I can do that so well. Oh my god, it's crazy. You're like, Megan, one tear, left eye, go.
This next clip, this is a short that I made about the Markle voice. All of the Markles seem very concerned that they are always heard. Their position must be heard. Their opinion must be shared.
You've done one TV interview in the last 16 or 17 months. Why have you decided to speak to us today?
Because I have things to say.
Nobody in the family wanted to come out and speak. I am not going to say nothing and lay low. I have a right to speak, and I have a right to help people understand the way things are. I think I have a voice, and a lot of people will feel and appreciate that.
Women don't need to find a voice. They have a voice. They need to feel empowered to use it.
Is to encourage our daughter, who at 3, she has found her voice.
The sad irony of the last 4 years is I've advocated for so long for women to use their voice, and then I was silent.
Were you silent or were you silenced?
The latter.
This next clip is something that I find personally offensive. I understand that it might not be everybody's position, especially given the state of the world today, but this is something that I find offensive, and I'm stunned that he can be out there saying it. And there's not been a whole lot of reaction to it, and I'm hoping it's because people really haven't watched it. But this is something that I feel should be known far and wide, exactly what his position is on Israel.
It's not a racist thing. It's a fucking hypocritical thing. It's bullshit. It's for money. It's all lining Congress's pocket. It's no secret. Israel, it's not real, pays everybody in Congress $250 a year minimum to push their shit through. It's no secret, but we're not going to get political on that because everybody knows. Everybody knows. And I don't want to hear any shit about, Palestine being kicked off their own land for hundreds of years now. So, yeah, Israel's the oldest oldest country that ever started in 1948. And it's no mystery to the entire planet. It's a mystery to Israel, and that is it. They started in 1948. The oldest country starting in 1948. So blow that out your rectum.
Now, this is the first of two clips that we will see of Samantha Markle on a radio show in Australia. I guess the show is called the Kyle and Jackie O Show or something along those lines. I've never really heard of it, but this is the first experience or the first encounter that they had, and then you will see again at the end, towards the end, the second encounter, I guess, between the two of them.
And you will admit that you're using your sister's fame and her name at the moment to sell this book, which isn't anything to do with your sister, really.
No, absolutely not. No, that's not true. This is my life. This is my personal experience. And, I happen to...
Well, why didn't you call the book My Boring Life? Then why did you bring it up why did you bring your sister into it?
Well...
For the marketing reason.
It's not a boring life. It's not a boring life. First of all, we have a lot of experience in the entertainment industry.
See you later. You sound like such a bore. I'm not interested. Don't use your sister's name to trick media organisations into pushing your shit book. You're gone. See ya. Bye. What a loser. Let's go.
Now, this next clip, you have Lady C. This is actually two clips. It was originally two clips, but when I adjusted the look of the clip, that gave me license to make it a little bit of a longer clip. So instead of two, it's now one. And in the first part, you're going to hear Lady C calling me a cretin. And in the second part, you are going to hear Lady C justify the Markle narrative based on the fact that Trevor Engelson hasn't disproved it. And unfortunately, the lack of a negative doesn't give the Markle family credibility, but Lady C believes that it should. Which, when I think about it, which makes me wonder, how do they know Trevor isn't going to come out tomorrow and say, well, if you're going to ask me, then I'm going to say this. Perhaps there's something untrue at the foundation of the story of Trevor and Megsy that means Lady C knows no one is coming forward to disprove this, if that makes any sense.
A lovely couple on a nastier topic. I came across the recent, and mentions the name of a video which I'm not going to mention, and was appalled at how nasty it was towards your recent interview with Samantha Markle. I did engage quite strongly to her and some of her followers, for which I regret. But I don't know why YouTube allows such videos. It isn't at all informational in nature. It was downright mocking and bullying you and Samantha. I know you will not give her the dignity of mentioning her name because she is a cretin. And going forward, I will not. But it's frustrating to see this. Let me stop right there and say, I wouldn't condescend around and admire it, to be graphic about it all. So, since I'm a great practitioner in getting rid of unpleasant situations and things and, shall we say, mess as quickly as possible, I wouldn't even bother to view it. But let me continue. They are also once again bringing up the story of Thomas Markle Jr. saying Trevor confirmed the hysterectomy. I just want to give a link to a video from last year that indeed does say Trevor confirmed Meghan Markle's hysterectomy. I don't think the creator of the video is reliable, but the video is out there to be Googled. So, didn't lie about that, and he never said actually, because I'm quite clear about what Thomas Markle did say. he didn't actually say that's how he discovered it. He said, and I know this from him personally, that he's told me that Trevor told him, and there's a video out there that one can look at as well. So he never actually said that he got the information from a video. He got the information from Trevor Engelson. And it's interesting because Trevor Engelson is a producer. He is a part of the celebrity world. Celebrity world. Both Mickey and I are coughing. He knows that this story is out there. He could very easily rebut it if it were untrue. The fact that he has remained silent, I would have said, condones and ratifies and verifies what Thomas Markle Jr. has said. So, let's leave it at that.
This clip happens to be just a personal favorite. How does one sincerely have a heart attack? Like, is there such a thing as an insincere heart attack? I mean, I would imagine that any heart attack would be a sincere problem. No? Now, obviously, this is my opinion, and everybody should do their own research and form their own opinions. But to me, just the fact that you need to say he sincerely had a heart attack makes me wonder if he did.
And how is his health? Because we know that he's had issues with his heart. We know that he was in hospital for a time because of that. How is he at the moment?
He sincerely had a heart attack, and I was very shocked that the world would mock that or make fun of it. He really had a difficult time. And of course, just because the tabloids couldn't get information on where he was and how he was, they created stories that it was somehow fake. But I don't know if it's the same in Great Britain, but here we have something known as HIPAA. And hospitals here and even in Mexico will protect a patient's privacy. So he was sort of rushed in and out the back door. And he's gotten stronger, but, he's still having a hard time with it. He's not quite up to par again.
Okay.
I don't think any collection of the Markle family's greatest hits would truly be complete unless you included that infamous phrase, "It's time to take care of Daddy." And my apologies to all of you that just threw up a little bit in your mouth. I know, it's tough to hear.
The royals own me. Harry owes me. Meghan owes me. What I've been through, I should be rewarded for.
I'll still be making money off the use of the picture.
Absolutely. Because those pictures will sell forever.
And now the Markle patriarch says he's willing to do anything to exploit the royals and make a dime, including getting paid to do this documentary.
I don't care. I mean, at this point, they own me. The royals own me. My daughter told me that when I reach my senior years, she'll take care of me. I'm in my senior years now.
And this vicious cycle of wanting to set the record straight.
Here you have the first of Samantha's rendition of One Tear, Left Eye, Go.
Importantly, how is Thomas doing today?
Even he's doing better. He's in good spirits, and so it's still hard for me to talk about because he's been through so much. 2 heart attacks, a pandemic, a stroke, and 2. I mean, I don't think he saw it coming, but he's doing better. He's in good spirits.
I'm just so thankful to God that I called him when I did.
I know.
Because he was slurring his speech. He couldn't talk, and I feel like had we not gotten emergency care right away, it could have been fatal. So,
Now, this one is one of Samantha's most egregious mistakes. I mean, the way she tortures and tries to exploit the Constitution to use as a weapon against her sister, I find it deplorable. I've made no secret of that. It's probably one of the reasons that they love me so much. But yeah, this is the first time I happen to have heard Samantha horribly misunderstanding and misquoting the Constitution.
In 1776, we did away with having to bow to royal titles. Our legal system does not acknowledge legal titles per Section 9 of the United States Constitution. And furthermore, you may not use royal titles to dabble in American politics per the United States Constitution.
That was going to be my next question. Yeah. What do you hope for your relationship with Meghan and your father's relationship with her? For her to reach out?
At some point when she's ready, but, with me, but with my father, at some point may be too late. So, our repeated efforts to extend an olive branch, I would assume, when interacting with a, quote, humanitarian, would be met with a very humble acceptance and, yeah, let's look at this, let's make.
Now, from what I've been told, this Jeremy Vine character, who I don't know him at all, he's not the nicest guy. He's a bit of a troublemaker in media. I don't know anything about that. All I know is that this clip, this particular little bit, is absolute brilliant.
I'm struggling here because I can't see how, if you've got a disagreement with somebody, you take it out on her on Twitter.
So when
the media aren't to blame because it's consistently rude, isn't it? Your public messaging, all publicly. That's why I don't understand. I can send him a letter. He may not open it. I can call him. What I'm not going to do is tweet insults at him because then he won't talk to me.
Your own suspicions as to why they didn't want to make Archie a prince. What are those thoughts? Why do you think that is? Do you think it's because of his race? And I know that's a loaded question, but
I can give you an honest answer. In those months when I was pregnant, all around this same time, so we had in tandem the conversation of he won't be given security, he's not going to be given a title, and also concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born.
What?
And
who is having that conversation with you? What?
So,
there is a conversation. Hold up.
There's
several now.
There's several conversations.
There's a conversation with you,
with Harry,
about how dark your baby is going to be?
Potentially, and what that would mean or look like.
And you're not going to tell me who had the conversation?
I think that would be very damaging to them.
Okay.
This particular clip is nauseating on a number of levels. I really don't think that I need to explain it. I think it'll be pretty obvious, the nauseating aspects of it. I don't think it's rocket science.
Yeah, my number one fan, Stalker Sugar, yes. Miss Amy.
Yes, Miss Amy, ORMV. You know, Amy, I was having this really bizarre dream. Hi, Amy. I was having this really dream. It was just getting really hot and steamy. And I don't know, it was like I was at this, it was weird. I was at this petting zoo. And I looked over to my right shoulder, Amy, and I saw like this water buffalo with like bleach blonde hair and some super bright red lipstick on it. And I go, wow, whew, that reminds me of somebody. And then I thought about you. And it got me all hot and bothered, Amy. And it just really just got me going. And I was just thinking about, you know, maybe we should be bumping uglies, Amy. You know, can you call me? Come on. Come on. Not that I have any of like water buffaloes and wigs and lipstick, but it just really got me going. Hi, Amy. Hope you're having a wonderful day. And you should probably copy this and put it on your next show also. Yeah, because you have a fan now, Amy. Yes. Anyway, enough of that gibberish.
Now, if you notice, I did try and eliminate a bunch of the threats because, you know, I put them in the threat counter. We don't really need to hear Junior's threats over and over again. But there are a few particularly good clips from an interview that Junior had with another YouTuber. I leave these pretty much for you to make your own decisions about.
Family of family, the royal family of family. Yes, the royal family owe the Markles because the Windsors are world famous. They must have known that Thomas would become an automatic target for the press and the public. So yes, the Windsors owe the Markles. Let's make that fucking clear right here and now.
Samantha's here.
It's lie upon lie upon lie.
13 ingredients? That's more people than I invited to the party. Unless Denise brings Gary. Ugh, Gary with his short shorts. White corn, vegetable oil, and salt. Yeah. 3 ingredients is good.
Light beer.
More taste or less taste?
I don't care.
Kind of how your girlfriend doesn't care that you're borrowing her pants?
Called skinny jeans. Kind of in right now.
They're kind of not.
Man up and choose a light beer with more taste. Grab a triple hops brewed Miller Lite with that great Pilsner taste.
Hey! Score still 21-32?
Yeah, just like a jean size.
I am still at the point where the Markle hypocrisy when it comes to free speech and who they believe can and cannot be censored and should not be censored. I mean, it's off the charts. Obviously, with just what just happened to me, where Junior literally tried to silence me because he didn't like what I had to say, which is kind of a theme for the Markles, is that they speak out against doing that. I mean, it's, you know, what else can I say?
The possibility of my book coming out, that was another controversial subject. I started getting threats, and people would send and tweet photographs of me being viewed through a high-powered scope behind broken glass with my face in targets. You know, if that's not obvious symbolism, I don't know what is. But it was all with the intent to intimidate, keep me in fear, prevent me from releasing my book. And you can't do that to people. We have freedom of speech. And just because someone might not like what I have to say or that I have a book coming out doesn't mean that they can engage in criminal activity, coercion, threats, intimidation to prevent my exercising my freedom of speech.
Hi, I'm Megan, and I play a mean game of Scrabble, especially timed Scrabble. It's something that I've loved for a long time. I'm very good at Jeopardy, and I love to cook. I don't know if a lot of people know that. Maybe they do, but I also make a really solid bolognese sauce.
I think you have an onus as a mature, responsible user of these social interfaces to be transparent. Not out there committing criminal acts, and I'm going to prove it by letting everybody know who I am, by being transparent.
But I read some articles. I think you had said that you raised Megan until she was 12, pretty much, or...
See, and here's where I'm going to...
I'm going to fact check that.
Here's where I'm going to talk about aggregate news. See,
yeah.
Even a journalist like you and a lot of other journalists and talk show hostesses believe that. And I was sitting here going, wow, where did you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Because I had said in one interview, I was integral in her life until about 12. I always lived about 10 minutes away. She was born in our household. My dad and Doria divorced when she was about 6. Still, it was during the week, weekends intermingling, when I wasn't working. And life was very...
Now, just so you know, this is not real. This is my splicing together of all of the things Junior has said about me into something positive as opposed to what he usually says, which is something incredibly negative. So this is not, he didn't ever apologize to me. He never has, and I'm pretty sure he never will. And even if he did, I wouldn't accept it. But this is what I spliced together in order to piss him off.
What's that one that I hold in a special place?
Our recollections may vary.
I've got a list. Somebody sent me a list of all the channels that they're trying to shut down because they don't like what they hear. You don't really have the right to shut people down because you don't like what they're saying personally. So blow it out your ass and get a life. Pull your head out of your ass after you blow it out your ass. And we can choose to listen to you or not listen to you.
I want everybody to know recollections may vary, but we'll go look at her channel and give her likes and subscribes and views. Our recollections may vary. So I am asking everybody from this point on, subscribe, like, view her channel. And that's the way it goes. Do me a favor, spread the word, tell everybody you know recollections may vary. Likes and subscribes for her channel. And I hope this shit makes the Daily Mail. And I never asked for a nickel. So fucking enjoy.
But like I said before, the death threats have to be stopped. You can't just do that and think you can get away with it. Nobody should have to live under those circumstances. Nobody should have to find a tweet or a message from a social media outlet and just make my stomach turn.
And oh my God. And I'm going to apologize this time.
Sorry, guys. Our recollections may vary.
So I am asking everybody from this point on, subscribe, like, view her channel. And that's the way it goes.
Tom, you sent Harry a letter in 2018 asking him to cancel the wedding. You called Meghan jaded, shallow and conceited. Do you wish he had cancelled the wedding in hindsight? Do you think the royal family wishes he'd cancelled the wedding?
Yeah, that's a good one there. I did that out of a little frustration because me, including the entire family, was being chased around by media, and I reached out and I asked for help, and I got a disturbing answer. I was like distant family and didn't know those people. So I wrote that out of haste. And, I certainly hope it's not a sign of just, what it appears to be to the entire world of stepping stones and breaking up families and doing anything like that. But obviously, I wouldn't wish that upon anybody. But if they are truly in love, then this will be the true test. We'll see what happens next.
And since I have an IQ of 154 and he most likely has one of 54, if that, I don't think there's anything wrong with my powers of discernment, while there's clearly a lot wrong with his. And aside from anything else, he's a blasted liar and a gutless creep.
Back to something that you said just a second ago, which hit the nail on the head. I'm really disappointed in the royal family. I mean, shame on King Charles, shame on William. Seriously, you guys have zero respect and compassion for what we've been through and what you guys have been through. And it's just not one phone call, not like, hey, gosh, really sorry you're going through that,
Yeah. I agree. Tom, I've got to stop you there because I know what you're going to say, and I actually agree.
Anybody from my family ever asked for anything, and that's important also. I never asked for anything, nothing at all. But you think with that organization going back hundreds of years and the way that they do things in their little whatever they do, you would think protocol would call for at least coming around and dealing with everybody one by one, like they do everybody else.
It's lie upon lie upon lie.
Now, I don't know exactly when this rant took place. I think it was actually after the wedding, but that's just a guess on my part. But the thing that I really do love about this is, I promise you, the original, the screen turns. I did that again in the, recreation of it just for fun, but it actually happens in the original as well. He ends the video by doing it sideways.
Prince Harry, it's not too fucking late to back the fuck out, because it's true, okay? You're a conniving, lowlife, fucking goddamn social climbing fucking cunt who just uses people and fucks them over left and right, like you did your first fucking husband. Jesus Christ, that man, I'm surprised he hasn't put a contract on your fucking head. You're a fucking cunt. I mean, you can't fuck people over every day of your life and expect to get away with it and no consequences. It's unforeseen. Damn, bitch. Damn, bitch. Holy shit. Man, I just, you better pull your head out of your ass, girl. Damn, that's all I'm saying. Till the next video, many more to come, by the way. Many more videos to come. Okay, I've got a lot to say, obviously, and I think I'm going to take a few days off just to make videos, just to say what's up, okay? Thomas Markle Jr., that's me. Meghan Markle's half-brother. My sister Samantha, her book's coming out. Her second book's coming out. All to divulge all this, bullshit, okay? Thank God today in the
she is just so jealous because I'm a member of the royal family and she's not. And the time that I knew my dad went to Thailand was in the early 80s when he was married with Doria. He went for a couple of weeks, and I just remember it so well because when he came back, he gave me some pretty amazing, what they call Thai sticks. So that was pretty much of a big bonus for a young teenager. My dad's first trips to Thailand, I was, a young teenager, and He never told me why he was going. I just knew he worked all the time, so he was just going on vacation. Never really got into why he was going there until later. Later in life, when my dad told me about his trips to Thailand, we were on the subject of talking about women, and we were out having a couple of beers and shooting a game of pool, I think. He says, you can get 2 women for the weekend for $50, and the things they'll do to you are incredible. You'll be a changed man. I kind of left it at that and didn't want to talk about it anymore. And I just know of a couple other times that he was talking about going over there. So he said, something about dental work and surgery and whatever, all kinds of stuff you could get over there done really cheap. I know he's been over to Asia 3 times. First time to Thailand, second time to the Philippines, I think. He talked about going back to Thailand or the Philippines or both. But he goes for a couple weeks at a time. So when my father talked to me about, the girls on the trips to Thailand, it was...
This is, again, an ORMV original. This is not actual footage of Senior in Thailand. This is my recreation. To all those who may have donated to the GoFundMe done by Lady C for Thomas Markles Sr. in order for his final years to go easier, let's just remember what it is that Thomas Markles Sr. told us about his retirement.
I have a fairly decent retirement. It's about $5,600 a month, and to most people it might not be a lot, but I'm quite comfortable with it. And living in Mexico, I do very well.
Just so we never forget our first and most important liar in chief, that would be Megzy, who never had a need to look up her husband.
I will say I went into it naively because I didn't grow up knowing much about the royal family. It wasn't something that was part of conversation at home. It was
Here is Samantha's second entry into One Tear, Left Eye, Go, in which she very tearfully tells us all about how she just doesn't know how she can love her sister anymore until she stops.
Do you still love your sister Meghan?
It's really hard to love somebody who has caused so much pain to so many people, especially our dad, through 2 heart attacks, and watching her do this to the royals. You know, I always said I could unconditionally love anybody, especially family. But God, you know, your neighbor comes through your house and runs you over while you're on the couch. Do you still have fluffy feelings? Do you still like your neighbor? I mean, how can I know? I can't say I can love somebody who is so unbelievably cruel.
Now, I still would like to know why it is that this, more than anything else, seems to have Meghan Markle's debacles and Tom Jr. so incensed. They said they did this, the two of them, because she is the one asking the question. They did this on his show for everybody to hear. And now they seem very disturbed that people caught it and that people are talking about it. And she went so far as to invent an entire life for herself in order to try to debunk what her and Junior said on his show. Guys, I don't know what to say about this. It's quite disturbing, the lengths to which that they will go to disprove this one throwaway comment that they made far more important than I ever would have had they not got off the rails with it and invented an entire life for this woman in order to debunk it. And if I am wrong, and if you believe that the preponderance of the evidence would not prove me justified for saying that in a court of law, then sue me. You have my address now, so sue me. We can go through the discovery process. We'll find out all of your sock accounts. We'll find out exactly who it was that asked that question. And we already have the video of him saying it, so we don't need to find that. But if I am wrong about who asked the question, and if I am wrong about the story that you created, then sue me. And if you don't, then we will know that I was right. And then we will know you and your channels are nothing but a fraud.
Basic home cooking. Is barbecue your girlfriend? Just curious. Barbecue is my very good special friend. And she was very far away from me, so couldn't really classify her as a girlfriend until we actually got down and, you know, bumping the uglies.
I shut it down so I don't see their mentions, because it got to the point where they're always mentioning me, trying to, you know, flag themselves and get attention and say horrible things and Photoshop and create things to villainize or criminalize me. I just thought, you know, that's not real. And for people out there who are bullied in cyberspace, you know, especially young people, I want to say you really can't give that legs. You can't give it breath. It's not real unless you allow it to consume you.
In light of recent events, this has become one of my more favorite clips by Thomas Markle Jr., given, you know, the complete hypocrisy of it. And along the same lines, I'm waiting for him to go to the takedowns of all the other channels that have talked against him. Because I'm not the only one. But I'm the only one that he tried to silence. Wonder why. I wonder what I got so very right that he needs to silence me. And, Junior, buddy, pal, if this is what you threw your credibility away on, really? Like, was it worth it? Because you've lost all credibility with this faux takedown. So, if I were you, I'd seriously question my life choices.
I mean, come on. So this is like really two-faced when it comes to, you know, me not voicing my opinion and protecting my family and standing up for my family and saying the truth. And I have every right to do that. So, but from what I understand, this is how it starts. Okay, so it's possible YouTube could take my channel down. You know, maybe I should clean up my language a little bit, you know, but as far as the comedy and the parody goes, no. That means that Megan would have to go after South Park. She would have to go after, everybody who says anything about her, all the other channels that HG Tutor, everybody. I mean, who's she going to take down? Everybody off of YouTube? It's just.
Of course, Doria would know that he went to Thailand. For what? She probably wouldn't know, but, judging by their fighting and their arguing and stuff, I mean, maybe she found out, but that's just speculation. I really don't know. Could have a reason why they split up. Maybe not. Who knows? Doria's fights were pretty horrendous, pretty loud, a lot of yelling and screaming. I didn't really want to listen to it, and I just pretty much blocked it out, especially with Megan in the house. I didn't really want to be there. I think the first time my dad went to Thailand, Megan was a toddler. I think she was still in diapers. And yeah, so she was in the house. She was in the picture then. Later in life, when my dad and Doria were already split up and living in separate places in Hollywood, I'd, go over and visit my dad once in a while. And I would notice, either before or later after Christmas time, there'd be like a stack of packages. And I'd look at the addresses and they were all going to the Philippines or Thailand. And I always wondered what those were for. So when I asked him about it, he said, those are friends of mine, and some families that I, send stuff to back in Thailand. When I did ask my dad about those gifts and stuff, I wondered, if I did have maybe some brothers and sisters running around in Thailand. I don't know, just.
I ask you, do you believe it's true?
I do believe now that my brother is telling the truth and that Trevor is. And reportedly, Trevor said that she couldn't give him children. And this is according to my brother. I didn't get this from Trevor. And sources out there say that Trevor put this in an article or an interview. So I haven't seen that yet. I do believe because there are no delivery certificates, and I heard stories early on around the time Archie was allegedly in utero and being born. I heard stories that royal staffers were not allowed to see or touch her abdomen. And what really got me was the idea that a royal physician was not allowed to examine her womb. I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but if I were pregnant with a royal child, you would want that.
And so there's no misunderstanding. This is where barbecue gets her name.
Woke up with a heavy head and I thought about leaving town.
Since day one about Megan, and followed and investigated every single lie that me, my dad, and Samantha have had to defend for years. So let's just call you no, okay, let's call you the barbecue.
It's a hot topic.
Yeah.
Well, obviously there's something dodgy going on there. Megan obviously and her little muppet has paid the Pied Piper from the back door and got it dismissed or whatever happened. But this only goes to prove how snaky, manipulative and narcissistic old Megan.
And I'm honest in saying I don't have the resources to do that. I mean, very, very limited on what I can do, which is not much. I have my voice on YouTube. I have my voice on social media, and that's about it. But I'm sure MI5 and MI6 have way more resources, and these people can be tracked, and these people can be rounded up and prosecuted for their crimes. The cyber crimes are just phenomenal. It's crazy that you can't just do that and think you can get away with it, because you can and will be tracked. I know for a fact you can be tracked directly to the source, and a lot of people are going to be seriously surprised when they find out what source that is.
So one of the things that Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and others can do to help law enforcement and help keep their participants safe, biometrics. If you get on your computer to sign in, you're using face recognition or your fingerprint or your ID. Is that a violation of freedom and privacy? Hell no, because they're out there violating others' freedom and privacy to the extent of criminal acts. Criminals are not guaranteed anonymity under any.
We can choose to listen to you or not listen to you, but you don't really have the right to shut people down because you don't like what they're saying personally. So blow it out your ass and get a life. Pull your head out of your ass after you blow it out your ass, and just find some human decency. But
I think that Japan would be this nice. The whole Asian tour. I mean, we're going where, Taiwan next? Yeah. Taiwan. But I never thought Japan was this nice. It's just amazing. Taipei. Yeah, Taipei. Yeah. Are you having a good time? I had to make this video so people knew that you were still alive, and I wasn't doing weekend at Bernie's with the springs and the arms and stuff. Yeah. So here's the proof, everybody.
The possibility of my book coming out, that was another controversial subject. I started getting threats, and people would send and tweet photographs of me being viewed through a high-powered scope behind broken glass with my face in targets. You know, if that's not obvious symbolism, I don't know what is. But it was all with the intent to intimidate, keep me in fear, prevent me from releasing my book. And you can't do that to people. We have freedom of speech. And just because someone might not like what I have to say or that I have a book coming out doesn't mean that they can engage in criminal activity, coercion, threats, intimidation to prevent my exercise.
No, it's because you're so goddamn fucking stupid. That's how you interpreted it.
And when I found out about it, of course I retaliated a little bit. But
And for our fourth and final version of One Tear Left Eye, you have Megsy, her infamous net flops debacle, where she fake cried in order to get sympathy for the harassment that she received.
And you've created it for what? Because you're bored, or because it sells your papers? Or it makes you feel better about your own life? It's real what you're doing. And that's the piece I don't think people...
Now, since Meghan Markle's debacles wants to claim that she only once visited Tom Jr.'s show, I'd like to prove that she was in fact a fairly frequent visitor to his show, and she gave a wonderful dissertation on what karma is and how it works.
To this day, after the day she left, if it's not giving the Queen a hard time, disrespecting the Queen, allegedly telling the Queen to drop dead on the way out, and everything else. Charles falls ill, Catherine, and then I think there was somebody else.
Sarah Ferguson.
Sarah Ferguson.
The Queen.
Yeah.
Prince Philip.
And still to this day.
But the stupid little, they put out a statement. We wish Kate health and whatever they said. If she can do it in peace as well. They're the ones that have disturbed her peace since they left and while they were in there.
Yeah.
They won't give the woman any peace and quiet.
No.
Like, they're always attacking her for what? What has she done? Nothing.
Yeah.
And all this Sussex squad really should really hang their head in shame. You know what? I really feel it's time to fight fire with fire. You know what? They want to go low. You know, we can all go lower too. Whatever you wish on them, let it come back to them tenfold.
Yeah.
That's how karma works, isn't it?
That's right.
Now, this clip here from Junior's show sparked the beginning of my kind of questioning the Markles and whether or not the Markle family was really not just more of the same when it came to Megsy or comparisons to Megsy. And so I had done this bit in one of my earlier videos. So this is the Markle version of Charity. I was struck by something that I wanted to point out. And to do that, I have to go back to the Cut article. And remember when Megan was giving that interview, she said, at a stoplight, she reaches into the trunk and produces a brand new black backpack and hands it to her security detail to give to an unhoused man on the corner. They are teaching Archie that some people live in big houses, some in small, and that some are in between homes. They make kits to pass out with water and peanut butter crackers and granola bars. I ate one, Archie contributes. Now, I heard something this week that reminded me rather forcibly of that story, and I'd like to play it for you.
At the end of the day, they take them all out and they put them in a box and they throw them away. All right. So I saw the guy doing this one day when I was coming home from work. And I said, what are you doing with those? He goes, well, I got to toss them out. That's good food, dude. You can't just throw that away. And he goes, I have to. I go, well, just put them to the side for me and I'll take them every day. Every single day, I would go pick that box of food up. And I'm talking like 15 burgers, 15 hot dogs, a bunch of little taco things. I mean, enough food in there for a bunch of people who are hungry. And I would stop on my way home and I would get out where all the homeless stack up on the sidewalks downtown Albuquerque.
Now, when I heard that story, all I could think about was that Cut story. And I don't want to get too much into it because it is their private family matters, but I do start to see a lot of instances where there are too many similarities between the Markle clan. The common trait that they all have is that they can never accept what they have. They always want more. And I can go through it with each and every one of them. Megan, the whole reason we're here, the whole reason we even know about these people is because she wasn't content with being the Duchess of Sussex. She needed to have more. She couldn't quit while she was ahead. Thomas Markle Sr., he couldn't quit when he was ahead. He had the public backing. He had the support of everybody. And then he comes out with this nonsense of this global appeal to his daughter that he gets paid for, which then tarnishes that whole image that we had that he was in the right. Samantha Markle, we supported her lawsuit, and then she goes and threatens to ask the Princess of Wales for a deposition. She couldn't quit while she was ahead. Thomas Markle Jr., he had us watching his live performances, but then he has to crudely mock his sister. And so our support of his right to free speech is our support of him having the right to put their side of the story out, then becomes tarnished. They cannot quit when they are ahead, and all of them are guilty of it. All of them do it, and we see that similarity, which in turn hurts. Tidbits are things that I come across while I'm researching a video that maybe answer questions. They may be funny. In this case, it's something that answers a question that has always bothered me, and probably a lot of you as well. When we read Spare and we heard the story of Archie's birth, we found out that Meghan Markle gave birth and was back home in 2 hours. Well, anybody who's had a child knows that's BS. But it's such extreme BS that we have to question where would she come up with 2 hours? It's so ridiculous, but where did it come from? And I think I found the answer.
So when news broke of Kate actually having given birth, I think at 8:34 in the morning on that Saturday, the press obviously instantly started speculating, well, will she leave today? And thinking as a mother, I thought, yeah, she definitely will, because you don't necessarily want to hang around hospitals too long, even if they are the Lindo wing and private and offering all frills. Equally, there's a sense, I think, if you have a second child, that you want to get back to your first. So people are sort of looking at their watches thinking, can she do this? Can she have a baby by breakfast and be home at Kensington Palace for tea? And when we got wind of the fact that Kate's hairdresser had gone into the building, we knew, oh, hang on, you know, she's going to make an appearance. And in vintage Duchess of Cambridge style, she turns out in high heels and looking effortlessly elegant, even though she's given birth just hours earlier, which is testament to her and how she's able to cope.
Now, for me, that answers it right there. Catherine did it quickly. She gave birth, gussied up, and was out on the stairs taking the photo on her way home. Meghan had to beat it. And so, since Catherine did it, you know, have the baby at noon and be home by tea time, Meghan had to beat it. And she did. She beat it 2 hours because she always has to win. She always has to one-up Catherine. And that's why I finally think that I found the answer as to why it is. She says she was home in 2 hours. This was said about Catherine about at least 2 of her births. I don't remember about Louis. I wasn't able to find anything specific about Louis, but definitely it was said how quickly she was taking those photos after giving birth to George and Charlotte. So now, I already done the cartoon version of this, and I thought it came out pretty well, so I'm going to include this. This is when Junior felt the need to threaten Carl Larson.
They want to get a rise out of me. I mean, Carl's here. Carl's known for also getting in people's faces at LAX, celebrities' faces, poking them until they get pissed off to get a rise out of them, right? And then as soon as they flinch or make a move, Carl sues them. He probably falls down on the ground, candy-ass little wuss crybaby, and cries and then sues them. That's what Carl's also famous for. He tried it to me up in Oregon. You know, some friends of mine said, you know, if you do catch him, you know, we do need a new star at the Donkey Show in Tijuana.
Now, this is the second part of that issue between Samantha and the Kyle radio show, Kyle and Jackie O radio show. This is when they asked her to come back after that first time.
So this is what Mayo wrote to Samantha Markle. Hi, Samantha. Hope you're well and happy. Happy New Year. Just wanted to see whether you'd be available to come onto the Kyle and Jackie O show to discuss your sister Meghan's decision to quit her royal duties. We'd love your opinion on the matter. Let me know if this would be something you'd be interested in. Thank you for your time, Jamie. So then Samantha Markle replied, tell Kyle to make a public apology. And then please ask me again. He was an ass. And then, so Mayo said, you didn't write back. Did you write back?
I just said, oh, like I acted dumb.
You acted dumb. Yeah, that's not hard. Yeah. That's not hard, yeah. So you just acted normal. And then a follow-up from Samantha Markle, she wrote, tell him I'll do it if he does the show wearing a diaper and a pacifier while apologising. Lol, thanks.
She really wrote that?
Yeah, she wrote it. And then another email. I'm surprised women can type. No. He called my book a book before I could even tell him what it was about and hung up on me for shock value. What a rude pig. Shouldn't have a job. I worked in radio a while back and he's not funny. He's just a piece of dung. No. So she's really on a rant. You think that'd be enough? But no, another follow-up email. Maybe you should plug me book and admit he knew nothing about it. As the world sees, I was right all along. That's what she's claiming now.
Oh, so she's saying that
she was right all along. And you know what? Maybe she was right. Maybe the whole world's been tricked by Princess Meghan.
Maybe. This Samantha knew all along.
Yeah.
How frustrating for her.
I know.
Because she was painted as the villain.
Oh, well, she painted herself as the villain. As the world sees, I was right all along. That's from Samantha Markle. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe she was not a loser. Maybe she was right all along.
Oh, will someone get the diaper?
I'm not wearing no nappy to pacify that woman.
I love it.
I mean, it's laughable the number of times that these people talk about censorship and how nobody should be censored while they work overtime to censor other people. I mean, I have no words for it at this point. While we're here, it's worth noting, like, how many different hairstyles and looks has Samantha had over the years?
It certainly seems like, you know, when you talk about cyberbullying and online and you're alluding to censorship, oh my God, what about self-censorship? What about considering your own contributions to the suffering of others? So,
And I'm going to wrap this all up with Thomas Markles Sr.'s thank you to the world for the very generous donation of the GoFundMe for his birthday.
No.
Hey, I just want to say thank you to Lady C, and thank you to all the people you brought on board with the GoFundMe. 2,000 people all reach out to me and my family. It's really appreciated. Thank you very much for all your help.
I look forward to reading your thoughts down in the comments. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you all have a great day filled with love, laughter, and of course, dancing.
Dancing